Got it.
Did you want to do the introduction again, Gabe?
Okay,
Start over.
I mean, I already well, so Dr. Bender's instructions are they're at the bottom of the Google Doc. Kane, I did send you and everybody else a email.
Oh yeah, I got it.
Shared email to the document that I kind of created today.
Yeah, I saw that. Thank you.
And I also put at the bottom of it, I just copied Dr. Bender's instructions from his Word document. And so what we're going to be doing is you will work collaboratively with a team of your peers to prepare a unit of study that will include 3 to 5 days of lessons that incorporate activities that will build student strength and literacy in curriculum areas of your choosing. Okay. So what I take that to be is since we're art, PE, and English, we're going to create like 3 lessons and, that are all synergetic in a hypothetical unit.
Okay. Would you, Gabe, be able to actually add my kaneshots@comcast.net email?
I think I did.
Google Doc.
But I can kaneshots1@comcast.net.
Actually, not the one, just one, just Kaneshots without the one. I have 2 Comcast emails, believe it or not.
Okay. Because I was, it does tell me it's John Garash.
John Garash.
Yeah, it's under your email, kaneshots1. It says John Garash, and I'm like, that's not Kane. Okay,
that's very strange. Well, that is my email, kaneshots1@comcast.net, but I also have kaneshots@comcast.net. That's really weird that it says John Garash though. Huh.
Kaneshots, comcast.net, and put you as an editor. Okay.
Thanks, man. Yeah.
I just sent it. Just give it a second.
It's one of those things where like I've tried to set up a Gmail. I don't know. The Gmail system is weird where like some emails work to set up accounts with it and some don't. I don't know. Long story, but
in Dr. Watanabe's class, I was working with Sean Anderson, and he kept sending me a Google invite to my Yahoo address, and it just was sticking. It just wouldn't work. And then he just because Google is really smart, it knew that I was Billy B 44I in Gmail, and he sent it there, and then it was seamless. You don't even need permission. It's like, oh, so it only took us like 3 days for me to figure that one out.
It's weird because I can't make a Gmail account with my Outlook account that is through the college.
Yep.
Like I've tried to do it and it keeps saying it's sending me a verification code and it never does. Yeah. I've tried it like 20 times now, so I just gave up on that.
But do you have the Google Doc now?
Yes, it's all good now. Thank you.
Okay, so let's look at it.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you for doing this, by the way, Gabe.
Yeah, well, this is for my own understanding.
Right.
Yeah. So I wanted to get an outline for myself, and then we can all input and come up with ideas. But I thought the first place I think we should start, and what would work for me, I don't know about you guys' learning styles, is the brainstorm questions and ideas. So I was thinking in terms of all of our subject areas, what do our students need? How are our subject areas connected? How are they interconnected? That way we can figure out how our areas can form a unit for our hypothetical students. And then how is our unit empowering students? How is it relevant to their real life?
Okay.
So those are some driving questions that I was thinking.
Okay, so in Thursday afternoon's class, Kane, Gabe and I were put together in a group, and we came up with this idea for a lesson.
I'm actually going to put it.
And I created a PDF of that lesson, and I sent it to everyone via the email that we've been going back and forth with. And it's a PDF. It's a 4-page PDF. And it just has a screenshot of our idea for one of these lessons being an obstacle course where the students have to go to an area and they have to put together blocks to form words that make a sentence that are relevant to the history of San Francisco. And we liked this idea because it was tactile and it had movement in it. And it was meant to be on like a playground. I think that's what we decided.
Was this
Hey.
on one of the emails that you sent us?
Yes, so
I
in
just
the
said-
in the email that Billy just sent with the Zoom link, that Zoom info join blah blah blah, at all the way at the bottom is a PDF,
Oh yeah, the attachment. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay.
and so that thing is just one idea.
That's one idea, yeah.
All right, let's look at that.
All right, so Gabe was brainstorming.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm down to just like write stuff down to brainstorm if you guys want.
Good.
Just find
ahead.
some
And
common
so I
ground.
like the idea of this Google Doc, of brainstorming right in there. Let me do.
Obstacle
this.
course. What are some ways that PE art and okay,
Well, remember that the obstacle course
yeah,
contains physical education elements in
Mhm.
it.
Yeah, that's true.
We
I
can
can
have
picture that.
them climb to the top of the structure in order to get to that thing that they're doing.
what
That
if
sounds kind of weird, but what about like a mental exercise, like a logical exercise that is like an obstacle course, like, but it represents like different like premises or something, or like a logical progression in a story? I don't know if that'd be really hard to like
The
materialize.
thing that I'm thinking of when you say this is a escape room. Have you ever been?
Kind of, yeah. That's a good way to put it, actually.
Have you ever been in an escape room?
Yeah, they're actually really fun.
They're really intense, and you've got to think like crazy in order to not get killed by the zombie. So is that something that we can use? I mean, this is hypothetical, right? We
yeah,
don't
why
have-
not?
I think
Uh,
it's a good idea. Yeah.
So Kane, if you're thinking of a escape room, please go ahead, share your ideas verbally. Also write it down in any of the boxes, whatnot. I was gonna say for the obstacle course, Billy, like how it incorporates so many different so all of our fields essentially, we can modify it. We can modify our original thing to fit all of our 3 specific fields: PE, art, and English, and that could be positioned at the end of the unit. That's like the final activity because it's incorporating everything that we learned in the unit. Do you think an obstacle course like that at the end of the unit would fit well?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Okay.
think it's good.
Okay, so I'll just put for lesson 4 box obstacle course right now.
Because an obstacle course is very mental as well as physical. You have to strategize.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, we can definitely fit that in there.
It doesn't, if you're able to see the PDF that Billy sent,
Uh-huh.
we put the 4 squares, but what we were talking about when we were in class is that at each of these stations, it's a physical kind of kinetic activity. So poetry slam, like we hand out worksheets or poems, and then the students have to perform it. And then in between the poetry slam, if they go up to the picture blocks for food dishes based
Yeah, I
on
see
culture. I think this is Billy's. This is yours. So that's also another kinesthetic thing, and there's and it's built into everything. Yeah.
This is the obstacle course. I see. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So you have one, which is so what do you envision when you think of like picture blocks for food dishes? You're thinking like you have to find the block that matches the food dish or something and put it kind of like a game, or?
Yeah, exactly, like a puzzle.
Okay, kind of like Survivor or whatever, where like they're doing puzzles as part of their challenges and stuff.
Right.
Like mental puzzles that like sometimes they got to find like the block that matches the hole or whatever.
Well, we
If
could
that
do
makes sense.
we could do this a couple of different ways. We could have the literacy be part of the blocks coming together to make a sentence in either English or Spanish
Word scramble.
or something like that. So you make this, and then
Be a word scramble for an obscure food dish.
and in order to get those blocks, I just wrote the word scavenger hunt in the Google Doc. And so they would have to get those things, and it'd say, 1 of 8. So they have to go find 8 of them. And we
Oh,
could-
like be in San Francisco maybe, and like you have to
And-
find these
and
8 different
so they
dishes.
put the words together, And
Uh-huh.
and hypothetically, the words come together to say, this is a map of San Francisco, either in English or Spanish. And it's not just a cross, but it creates a block. And then on the back side of it is an image of some historical fact of San Francisco. Like
Oh,
Dr.
that's
Bender was
cool.
saying, the very first graveyard in San Francisco.
How about a map? Because
Or a map.
in the background, it's a
Yeah,
piece of the map of San Francisco.
yeah,
That's
exactly.
a
Oh yeah, that's great. Yeah.
this is like a map of one district or one city, and then another food or word block would be the next district, next city, and then
And the scavenger hunt can be part of anything. It could be part of the escape room. So that, there could be all kinds of things related to the tactile, physical, kinesthetic. And then you got to use your mental widgets to put the blocks together so that you can see the map on the back side of it.
So we're doing like 3 different lessons basically, right? For
Yeah,
this
so.
project. It's multiple. So we could
Yeah.
do like one for each. Like one could be scavenger hunt around the city or whatever. One could be this obstacle course, kind of, some kind of a word game thing or whatever. And then they could do an escape room as well. And you could have like all 3. Although I don't know if Dr. Bender was saying we need to do like one lesson for each different subject, but
No, I don't think he said that.
I don't think he did, right? Yeah.
No, I don't-
Okay.
I-
I think we could
and
integrate
for-
them together. I don't think you care either
For
way.
me, I think that, you don't have to say, oh, art has to be part of it, because it already is. The
Okay.
idea of putting the blocks together in the scavenger hunt would be, is they're not just ugly blocks, they're really cool. And when the map gets made, it's done artistically. And so
Okay.
that part is there, and they have to participate in that too. And so, it doesn't have to be slanted towards just painting or sculpture or animation or anything like that. That doesn't matter. You can just pretend that I'm an English major and that I also have artistic sensibilities.
What about an obstacle course in the MoMA or something too? That'd be kind of cool. Or like a scavenger hunt in the MoMA, like find these
Right.
random obscure
Sure, write that in the doc.
sculptures or something.
Write that
Yeah.
in the doc.
Yeah, we could do some like straight up art stuff too. Like why not?
I was for yeah. You guys don't want. My preference would be to now actually. I like the integrated lessons that every lesson has aspects of each of our fields.
Yeah, I like that.
So I think that's a better, how I was originally thinking about it, or initially thinking about it, is that the PE group would do a really kinesthetic focused activity, but then the backdrop is that it's something having to do with San Francisco history. And then the scavenger hunt / block pictures that you just described, that would be, again, a kinesthetic art activity, but then the backdrop is San Francisco food, San Francisco regions, San Francisco districts.
Yeah, I'm all about this. I think San Francisco is the perfect place to do this, honestly, because there's just so much, it's like it's mentally challenging having to navigate through the city. And like if you like integrating the map into there is great. There's escape rooms all throughout San Francisco you could use. Yeah, I'm all about that.
Okay.
Tight. I put map with missing words of the locations. I don't know if that was what you were saying, something about like using a map for,
Yeah.
for like filling in the blank or something, right, Gabe?
Yeah.
Does that sum it up well, or was
Uh-huh.
am I misrepresenting that?
No, that's okay.
Cool.
And remember, I just put the note in there on the doc that we're working on this. And could you remind me, are we working on it all during next week? Or just part of next week's class?
I don't know if he said.
Do you
think
remember
he
what you
said-
said, Gabe?
I think he said part, but that's just my guess. No, I don't remember any concrete explicit him saying that we're going to be able to work on it.
The whole time, okay.
Yeah.
So, but we're doing it right now,
Yeah,
right? And I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure that our teammates will be happy.
They can't be too upset with us, I feel like.
if they can come up with one of the lessons, right? Because we
Right.
have we have the obstacle course and a scavenger hunt as a potential idea, as that fills up 2 lessons. So if they can come up with one kinesthetic PE focused, but integrating all of our fields as a as maybe the first lesson, I think that'd be fine. Do you guys think the scavenger hunt, that should be like the second lesson?
Yeah, and I love the idea of the escape room too.
Yeah, scavenger hunt slash escape room, or is it just a scavenger hunt?
We could combine them. Why not?
Well, no,
I mean-
look what I just did.
Although I don't know if the moment would let us, but
No, this is hypothetical. Stop it.
I mean, honestly, you probably could do it without their approval too. Just, I mean,
Right.
pretend like you're.
We're just in normal goers.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah. Get
So there's
stuck
a-
in a metaphorical
so-
box, like a mime.
So there's a couple of things that come to mind, and one of them is on Netflix. There's a series. It's called Lupin, Lupin. Have you seen it, Kane?
Mm-mm.
And it's kind of like a modern day James Bond. They're in Paris,
Oh.
and this is like what James Bond would actually be. He's a smart guy. He's got a hideaway, and he can put on any kind of costume, and it's amazing. It's this long. It's this many episodes. It starts, and it's got one of the best endings I've ever seen. And what amounts to be like a 9 or 10 hour movie, because I think there's like 9 or 10 episodes. Amazing. And there's an element of the scavenger hunt in what he's doing, because he's got to like try to find out what happened to his dad and why these people were hiding, and he has to find out who the bad guys are. It's amazing. To me, whenever I'm looking at cinema or film or animation, whatever, I always look at it very, 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 very critically. And very, very few times can I watch something and suspend my disbelief and just enjoy it. And this is one of them. It's like, it's just done so well. The acting, it's done by Omar Sy, isn't it? S-Y. Just unbelievable. It's just really great. So
Nice.
there's an element of that in here where we can put that scavenger hunt in there, and he's got to escape from a couple of rooms himself, and he's a magician. He can just make things happen. It's amazing.
So like a secret agent kind of.
Yeah, he's kind of like how James Bond would really be.
Yeah.
He's absolutely
I
amazing.
mean, James Bond is kind of a living escape room in a sense, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Or
And
not
then-
actually living, but like.
And then another example is if you ever saw Jean-Pierre Junot, his film called Amélie.
Yeah, I have. That's a good one.
So
too.
not meaning to just stay in France or Paris, but she sends her love interest, her boyfriend, on a scavenger hunt all over Paris.
Right.
Go here,
Right.
go there. And
Yeah.
so I love that idea of the scavenger hunt itself. I love the idea of the escape room. And so that's why I put the little triangle in there. Because
That idea is good too, because that kind of integrates the written part of it,
yeah.
writing
Exactly.
of, like adding clues like in written form, like metaphors or whatever, maybe even, for people to decipher and figure out. I mean, yeah.
I really like the scavenger hunt and the MoMA.
Yeah, me too.
I like that idea.
Yeah.
I like it more than the escape room. I think if you guys can come up with more concrete execution of how this escape room would work, I'd be fine with it. I'd be open to doing the escape room, but I think I like the scavenger hunt and MoMA.
Have you ever done an escape room? You have to.
I can assume how it is. It's very I know what it is.
Well, you
Right.
have to like solve this puzzle.
Mm,
You have to read what the question is and you have to solve it. And all throughout the room are tables and
objects.
cabinets and boxes that are locked and doors that are locked and windows that are locked.
Yeah.
And you have to find this one key.
Yeah.
And in order to find that one key, you have to solve the question that's on that one little piece of paper.
Yeah, it's all about riddles, basically. Yeah.
And so once you find that key, then you open up the lock and then you got to find another one.
Yep.
And as time goes on, the zombie in the room is tethered to a piece of chain,
Mhm.
to a length of chain. And as time goes on, that chain gets longer and longer and longer. And some of the clues are really close to him. So you have to do those first. And if
I'm
he
with you
grabs-
though that we can develop the obstacle course and the scavenger hunt first, and if we have time and people, the other guys are into the escape rooms, then we can go back to that later.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're into those two mainly, like I'm fine with focusing our energy towards that. Like
Okay.
I'm not attached to the escape room thing at all.
Okay, so but we need three. Do you want to come up with a couple others so our teammates can kind of mull over it too?
Sure.
I-
Let's see. I guess
Can
we'll
I
see.
ask? Sorry. Can I
That's all right.
ask? What if we each of these things, each of these activities we would have, they're all like field trips, right?
Yeah,
They're all like this is all field trips. We
Yeah.
would have an obstacle course in a big field or in a certain place, and then the escape rooms actually at an escape room site.
The obstacle course, I guess you could technically do on like
We could do it in the
field at
classroom or the
school.
playground at
Yeah.
our school.
Yeah.
But I do also like the idea of, we're thinking hypothetical, we're ambitious, right? So the obstacle course being in what is the park? What are some parks in SF?
Guerrero.
Is that the one that's next to the bridge?
There's Golden Gate Park. The Presidio is
Golden Gate
next to the
Park.
bridge.
Yeah, but Mission
Presidio Park.
Dolores. Mission Dolores.
Mission Dolores, the really popular one. Yeah.
And
There's a bunch. There's a lot of really good ones in San Francisco. Golden Gate Park is great just because it's so big.
yeah,
Huge.
I think Golden Gate Park, because I remember Golden Gate Park. I've been to Golden Gate Park, and I think actually doing all of these at different San Francisco sites, that adds another layer of like this is making learning alive, right?
Totally. Yeah, I used to love going to field trips in San Francisco as a kid, man. It was always great. It was always like, I mean, what kid doesn't like that? Going to museum, like not having to do school all day long. But yeah, I think, yeah, any of those will work, man. If you want to come up with a couple extra ideas, that maybe we should focus on ones that are more physical. And the obstacle course definitely does fit the whole PE thing.
I think
Even the
that's a whole,
scavenger hunt does too,
Yeah.
honestly.
I think
mean-
these all. I think you were right, Kane and Billy, when you're saying that all of these activities, especially the ones you just proposed, are integrate PE, art, and
Yeah.
English in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
In a way.
I think so, man.
And I think
Yeah.
it's a really cool idea. I'm gonna like keep this one in my back pocket to actually do it.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. I mean, the class is working, I guess, right?
Oh my God, it just hit me.
What?
For the PE group or the PE lesson, let's just bring him to SF State. Let's just bring him to the wellness center, and they do
Oh yeah,
a relevant lesson or field trip there, and they learn about kinesthetic, a kinesthetic focused activity, but it's at SF State.
the
And
rock
then-
climbing wall or something like that.
Yeah,
or-
exactly.
Yeah, definitely, man.
Kinesthetic activity.
Get a field trip to SF State. You could get a professor or the head of the kinesiology department to actually, lead the field trip or whatever. I mean, maybe, I don't know. Maybe they'd be into that.
What is
Maybe-
the? Does anybody know what the place is called? The
It's called the Massoff Center.
Massoff
The
Center.
new one. That's
Oh,
the
yeah.
That's the
Okay.
new one with the pool at the
Okay, yeah.
west end of campus.
Massoff.
I don't know how
Okay.
it's spelled. I've been by it 1,000 times and I don't know how it's spelled.
I wonder if Roland and Marcio actually got their undergrad at SF State.
I didn't.
I didn't either.
I
But
got my undergrad at OSU in 1986.
where's OSU?
Of the
Ohio
Ohio State University
Oh, wow.
in
that's cool.
1980.
Nice.
I'm sorry, 85.
Oh, damn. Yes, you had a little gap there for sure. That's cool.
And then I came out here and I studied neon. And I did neon for 10 years. And then in 1992, I started doing neon animation.
Cool.
I studied animation at Colossal Pictures. And I did that for a whole bunch of years. And I had my show and I became a director. And
You had a show? Oh, cool, man.
yeah, it never got picked up, but it was called Racket in the Attic. It's on YouTube.
Okay. I should check that out.
Here, I'll put it in the document just so you can see it.
Yeah, why not? That's awesome. So you've done a lot of different stuff with film and with animation and
Yeah.
yeah, wow. That's cool, man.
Oops, I gotta make sure I click on the right one. And now every time I do this, I get another view. So all 100 views of these are not technically me, but is it okay if I put it at the bottom of this document?
Hey, so my partner's she's a rec person, right? And like, my fiance, you know, she runs a rec department at Piedmont, and she always bases her, or not always, but a lot of times she'll base the activities off of like Big Brother or Survivor or other game shows that she watches, or reality shows, you know, because they have like all kinds of really cool, just like, you know, kind of group puzzle kind of, you know, stuff. And the kids freaking love it, man. Like they're all about it. So
So
like,
let's do Squid Games.
oh yeah, that's really popular right now, huh?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I just learned about it this week. And,
That looks brutal. I haven't actually watched it, but I've seen
Neither
the
have I.
previews
and
for it.
everyone that I was talking about this was misinforming me or comma lying to me,
Uh-huh.
because up until this morning, I thought people actually died.
Oh, they don't.
And I've been very upset since Tuesday.
Oh, so all that trauma for nothing then, huh?
They told me that people died. I'm like, people were actually dying? They're like, yeah. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And
So that
I'm
was the
like,
whole-
scouring-
Yeah, that's the premise, right? Is that the
and then-
people die
and
in the
then
game, they die in
only
real life,
until
right?
This morning, someone said, no, Billy, it's fiction. I'm like, oh my God, they just make it look like they really died.
Oh, it's that realistic that you actually thought it was real.
And that's why Netflix turned it down 2 years ago, because it was
Wow.
so graphic.
Wow.
And only until my class this morning did I realize that it's all just high production value. That it just looks like they're being shot. But no one's, they're not taking bodies to a graveyard.
No, it's not. I imagine it's not real.
Well, I
Yeah.
didn't know that until this morning. I was really
Oh
upset.
gosh, like the new trending game show where they actually kill everybody.
So you know, it could be fun. Dr. Bender might like this if we do bat games. We switch Squid Games to bat games, and if the drawing that they're doing is bad, they get killed.
That'd be pretty extreme.
If they do a bad painting, they get killed.
Doesn't
No,
that
I'm
kind
not
of like
confused.
inhibit creativity a little bit? I don't know.
I'm trying to get a rise out of you. It's okay. Is there anything we can do with this Squid Games reality thing, though?
I haven't seen it. So
I haven't seen it.
No. I mean, for us, so they have to play red light, green light, and anyone who's still moving, technically the cameras focus on them and they get shot and they pretend to die. And I guess on the first episode, like 300 people got killed all at the same time.
That's a serious game of red light, green light. Holy shit.
Yeah. And then I guess it's a TV series, so it keeps going. And the winner, and they didn't tell me this morning about whether they actually win $38 million. But the premise is that anyone who plays the game is like dirt poor.
Mm,
That
Oh,
they're-
so they
that
get
they're-
money.
that they've filed for bankruptcy, and instead of going to jail, they have to play this game. And if they lose one of the games, they get killed.
Well, that sounds pretty messed up, but realistic in some ways, I guess.
The only
Gladiator
reason I
style,
mentioned
kinda.
it is because it's hot right now, and you know, my high school kids might know about this, and middle school kids might know about this, and they might just really love this idea,
Yeah.
knowing full well that it's just a game and that people don't actually die. Oh my God.
We can't actually kill the kids, you're saying?
Well, not yet. So,
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely it's something we can work with. Maybe we would have to like
let's just put
not
reality
call it
game.
Squid Games. Maybe just take an idea from the
I'm just
Squid
gonna-
Games or
I'm
something.
just gonna put reality game in there.
Right on. Yeah, I put a little thing for it right at the bottom. Yeah, some kind of a reality show, kind of game show thing or something. Yeah, that's definitely not a bad call.
So instead of playing like red light, green light, they have to answer a literary riddle. Or they have to answer a riddle and run 50 yards to get the next riddle or something. We can put them together. And if
Okay.
they don't win, they get buried up to their necks and a lawnmower comes over the top of their head.
I'm just a little worried about like doing a lesson like that because like it's just you're already under so much pressure as a teacher to like not traumatize the kid, to be careful with your language and everything. I mean, not that it's a bad idea. I mean, it sounds like it'd be really fun, and I bet you a lot of kids would love it. I'm not like totally against it or anything. I'm just bringing it up,
Well, we could switch it to say the monkey dies. So there's a monkey and he's on the top of a platform. And he's just like a hologram. Right? And instead of the person playing the game getting quote unquote shot, I think that my students, even this morning, they didn't tell me the truth until I asked them if the bullets were actually paintball guns. And they said, no, it's digital. They make it look like, and so that could be fun if it's like a digital monkey on top of a platform. And if he gets released, then he becomes everyone's friend. But if
we could do something with like computer animation with this.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not familiar with that kind of stuff, but it sounds like you've done some stuff like that.
Yeah.
So maybe, I don't know, maybe some kind of like a video game.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be very physical, but maybe you could integrate some PE into it somehow. Like,
well, right, they have to solve the riddle by reading it and understanding what the riddle is. Then they have to do something. Again, we're just throwing out ideas.
right.
What is Gabe writing? He's writing.
Culminating thing. I'm just labeling each of them
Okay.
in terms of like what would be the focus or the primary subject area each of these activities are exploring, but then they're touching upon aspects of everything.
I mean,
So
maybe
it's-
there's some kind of app or whatever on their phone where they can actually play a video game kind of style thing, like, and actually be doing something physical at the same time. Like Pokemon Go style or something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Wait, what's up? You can talk. This is just a group meeting thing.
Well, they have them on YouTube,
What do they have on
like
YouTube?
PE, like classes.
Oh,
that are
really?
made, yeah.
Oh, okay.
We
My
did them last year for our like Zoom PE classes.
Oh, okay, yeah. My wife's saying that they have like PE, like you or PE. What kind of
Like YouTube videos that are like basically like they're like one's Mandalorian or one's like
Oh, okay.
something, and then it's like the kids do like it's like avoid the whatever, and they're like ducking.
But they actually like are running around like outside and stuff.
but
okay.
they need their computer.
They can't do it on their phone.
I mean, maybe if they have YouTube on their phone.
Okay. She's saying there's like these YouTube like popular culture kind of like PE classes that you can do like on a computer, but she's not sure you can do it on your phone, but
Yeah.
you could. That'd be kind of cool,
Yeah.
Grab one and link it on this document. Link one video.
I'll send it to you.
Okay.
Oh, thank you.
Can you
Yeah,
do that, Kane?
Yeah, thanks, Julia. It's my yeah. Let me see. Do you know, Julia? What?
I'll get one. And I'll send it to you right now.
I'm just gonna go on YouTube and see if I can
Click
look
in,
it up.
like, PE Mandalorian or like PE. There's a bunch of them.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mandalorian sounds awesome.
Yeah, there's a bunch. They're super trendy right now because of all the COVID protocol stuff.
Awesome. Yeah.
Do we have to give your wife credit for our project?
Yes, we had to enroll her in the class somehow.
Okay.
We're gonna tell Dr. Bender we have one more member.
No, I shouldn't say that. I just heard you guys.
All right, Gabe, are you happy? I like where we're going with this.
No, like I like the field trips. This series of field trips activity. This unit.
There's online PE warm up. There's one with Yoda, Mandalorian Fitness Challenge.
Probably, yeah. That's probably what they're. And they like run through a whole. They'll be like phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, and it's like avoid the something.
Not the city of the
Something comes at you or whatever.
Let's see. Some of these look like they're kind of like workout videos.
They might be like they're like PE.
So I'm gonna see like outside or something.
So my intuition is that as soon as we pick the 3 that we like the best, that figuring out what the SWABATs are,
Mhm.
it's going to be just super easy, really fast. And remember that
It'll be like
from our experiences that just keep those really simple.
Are they
Yeah.
like moving around
they
like
should be.
outside of the
They
house? Or?
They should be.
I'd never
They should
underestimate
be fun.
the difficulty in planning though, because for me planning takes a long
Yes, you
time.
can find it.
I want to know every aspect of like my lesson. If I'm going to expand upon one of the activities as a lesson, I'm going to do it in depth. So
Right.
for planning for me takes a long time.
Yeah.
No idea.
All right, so
Scavenger
what
hunt
have
at the Eskimo Mall.
so what have we got? We've got 5 of them right now. And we only need 3, right?
I did put 4 lessons because I was anticipating that 3 lessons, if this is our whole unit, right? 3 lessons are PE lesson, art lesson, English lesson, and then this final lesson would be an assessment of all of that, or an activity incorporating all the things that we learned in the unit.
Yeah, but I don't think that Dr. Bender was making that area of study specific.
Yeah.
I
So
don't,
I like you guys' ideas more. So just activities on certain days, field trips on certain days
I
for
think I remember him saying that we had to have at least 1 unit per subject, or sorry, 1 lesson per subject. I don't know if that means like there's like any specific like minimum or maximum. I mean, I think just as long as we have like, if we have 3 subjects, we have to have at least 3 lessons. Like,
Okay.
that's what I got from it. But I think if we did more, that's fine too. You know, I don't think it's like we get knocked down or anything.
well, I think that Gabe's got the right idea. The unit is we have multiple units per the whole lesson. And one of the things that I think that we don't need is we don't need the through line. We don't need like how this fits into the whole semester. This is just like 1 week
Yeah.
worth of activities.
Sorry, can you say that again, Billy?
I think this is just like 1 week worth of activities, not for the whole entire semester.
Yeah, I think if we did like
In
a
other
week,
words-
that'd be solid, dude.
In other words, we're not doing just 1 lesson for 1 day. We're doing like a week. We're doing 4 lessons for a week.
Right. Yeah, I think that'd be fine. Yeah, like a week-long unit, I think would be.
And again, I think that we don't have to like do anything except work in the art part of it subtly. And we can concentrate more on it being literacy for English and literacy for PE. And then the art part will just slide in there. We'll talk about the aesthetics, and maybe one day we could do something that's more relevant, like for instance, in the PDF, the idea of Gabe's from Wednesday was like the picture blocks have to make a map, or that they don't have to, but they create a map. But then there's something maybe that they can do with that. They use that as the basis for painting or something, and we can work that out next week. But this is good. I'm very happy with what we're doing right now.
Yeah, I feel like Dr. Bender is not the kind of teacher that's gonna like drill us if we don't, you know, like follow all guidelines perfectly or whatever.
Right.
lessons. Okay, let me clarify because I'm a little confused. It's lessons within a unit, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, in a unit.
Yeah,
So
1 unit. Yeah.
and the duration that we're looking at, you said is
Oh.
1 week.
Okay. Yeah.
You said is I'm thinking that these series of field trips at most, or most ideally, would fit like a quarter of a school year.
Okay.
You could. Yeah, I mean that'd be a pretty big unit, but
No, I understand. But
Well, what would make you say that each of these things, if we're gonna take them out to take students out to different places in SF, what
Yeah.
would make it fit into one week?
Yeah, that would be really hard. So
Yeah,
this is
right.
just hypothetical.
Hypothetical.
So that this lesson is broken apart into every Monday in a month or something like that, or 3 or 4 different field trips that make up a complete lesson.
three different field trips, one every Friday,
Yeah.
and then the 4th week is that obstacle course back on campus. And then we could still, I could create or modify this obstacle course, and it'll still be relevant to the city.
Yeah.
still be assessing there, like, okay, what did we learn in the weeks that we've been to the city? We've seen these places. What did you guys take away? Let's review.
This is great. Yeah. So every Friday, so each week we have like a lesson or two designed to build up to this field trip, which is the collaborative field trip, like among the 3 different classes or whatever. And I guess we could fill in a different lesson for each week based
Yep.
on like the different subjects we got, right?
The build up, like the days, let's say week 1, right? Week 1 will be the escape room, okay? And it's
Okay.
English focused. So the days leading up to Friday when they do the field trip, hypothetical field trip, the days
Uh-huh.
leading up to that, they'll be practicing certain skills, right? They'll be practicing
Grammar or
grammar.
yeah.
Yeah, grammar, actually, that
Yeah.
that would be okay. Skills like that, just review, and then we would turn that into we would finish that off with the escape room. Next week, again, a buildup of art history. What I was trying to say is that even like if we're doing English, sorry if I'm jumping everywhere, but if we're doing English first, right? The buildup, we're learning grammar, but it has to be relevant to San Francisco, an aspect of San Francisco. What is San Francisco? Are we studying history? English, San Francisco. I think history works well. Beat poetry.
Yeah, beat poetry. That's great.
yeah.
Or jazz.
Yeah, jazz and beat poetry, music. We could incorporate music into the week 1. So for Billy's scavenger hunt at the MoMA for now, right? Scavenger hunt activity on that week, it would the days leading up to that would revolve around art, San Francisco art, San
Yeah.
Francisco food, San Francisco regions. You know what I mean?
Tie
Like,
aesthetics into that too.
Yeah.
You know, the whole concept of what, you know, of like evaluating art or whatever. Or I mean, what do you think about that, Billy?
No, I love it. I think it's totally right, on target, totally happy.
Because that's kind of the whole MoMA's theme, right? Is that it's like the whole concept of art has changed, you know, since from traditional, you know, views on it. So it's modern art, right?
It is modern art, but
Yeah, so
but they do have other things. I'll never forget getting into a discussion about with this woman who thought that the MoMA was just pedestrian. She thought it was provincial. I'm like, what are you talking about?
yeah.
She was thinking that every museum in the world had to be like the Louvre, and it had to have representation of every culture ever existing throughout the beginning to the end of time. It's like, you know what, Katerina, shut the fuck up. A museum is a museum. Every museum in the world can't have the same thing.
Right. Yeah.
That's stupid. The joke is that when the British were invading and taking over everything, they were stealing art from everywhere. You know, we make fun of the Germans doing that, but the British have been doing that for like hundreds of years.
Oh, absolutely. They still have a lot of artifacts that are like fought over, like from many countries around the world.
Yeah,
right?
it's like, what are you doing with that? That
holding
belongs
hostage.
in Egypt.
Egypt and Greece. It's Egypt and Greece.
Yeah,
They want their stuff back.
what are you
I mean,
doing with that?
understandably,
You
yeah.
stole that from the people in Greece. That needs to go back to Greece. That needs to go back to Mexico, dude. You have no business having.
Yeah, we have a lot of Egyptian artifacts too in the US, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I
And
mean-
you know, they use that as the argument that museums all over the world have stuff all, you know, so it's a contentious thing. And our museum is okay. The museum in Golden Gate Park, I can't think of it at the moment.
Oh, the DeYoung.
The Young,
Uh-huh.
it has their stuff. They have some prize pieces, but it's by no means provincial. It's kind of a cool museum. You know, not every museum has to be Baroque architecture.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That sounds kind of boring actually if it was a museum of Baroque architecture.
Yeah, that Katerina woman needs to be stopped.
All right, we're gonna put that in the lesson design.
So
I cut you off. Sorry, Gabe.
thank you. So what I was going with is that each activity and the build up for that activity is centered around a particular aspect of San Francisco. English
Absolutely.
history, art history, English history in week 1. Week 2 is the kinesthetic. So regions or athletic history in San Francisco. Week 3, scavenger hunt, art history, food. You could totally tie into culture as an art form, right?
Yeah.
And food, regions, districts. That's the concrete details that that could fit into the scavenger hunt. And then week 4 is the review of all these things. Like what do we now know? How do we see San Francisco?
I think
Yeah,
that's great.
there's so much we can do with this. This is all great, honestly.
And for whatever it's worth, it becomes real when we actually take this to our classrooms.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's a really, really cool thing.
All right, then settled. This is going to be a San Francisco focus on each
Yes.
one, and the subject area specifically on how that subject area focuses on San Francisco for each field trip
Yep.
for that whole week as a lesson, right?
Yeah,
Wow.
and for whatever it's worth, that was Gabe's idea on Wednesday afternoon.
It was originally another person's idea, and then I was just like, "You're thinking too big. just center it." And I mean,
They don't have a copyright on it, right?
No,
Yeah, it's yours now. There you go.
all right,
And
I think we're good for the moment.
Yeah.
Right
I'm
on.
gonna ask that we adjourn.
yep, I agree.
I have recorded this.
Okay.
So what I will do is I will post this to YouTube, and then I'll put the link, I'll send you all the link to YouTube so that the others can watch it.
On email. Thank
We
you.
don't have to watch it again, but so that our other team can watch it.
Okay, cool.
Okay?
Sounds
Gabe,
good,
what?
guys.
What? Game what?
No, I think that's it. Oh no. So on Tuesday's class is our expected time when we're going to work on this. So think about your activity that like you're attached to.
Okay,
Think about the concrete details surrounding it. That's our tasks leading up to Tuesday, and then Tuesday we'll fill out the kind of template that I put.
yes,
So
Okay.
you and me, Gabe, we're developing a lesson for the week of English, which is going to be the escape room. Did we decide that?
I'm fine with that as long it's your idea. So I'm like, go first, Kenny,
so,
Okay,
so
that's fine. Or yeah, whatever.
and then fill me in, and I will modify or adjust and put in any input. But escape room sounds fine to me.
Do
If
we
we can
want to figure out real quick what kind of like part of San Francisco literary history we want to focus on? Beatnik sounds really cool.
yeah,
All right,
Beats.
cool. Beatnik poetry. Cool.
so that's gonna be North Beach.
North Beach.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want to put that in there right now, Kane?
I'm gonna do
Yeah,
that.
man, just to do it. Oh, you gotta give.
Yeah, I'm gonna delete this grammar. We
Yeah,
we know
grammar
them.
boring
North
compared
Beach.
to
Yeah.
North Beach. Slash beats poetry
Cool.
/ music.
Okay,
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe let's scratch music. I don't know. What do you
No
think?
music. Okay, fine.
I mean, we could if you want.
We can always add it. We can always add it if we feel that it's relevant.
Yeah, exactly. Let's focus on that first. I think
All right,
that's
so-
already gonna be enough to fill out a lot of.
obstacle course
phase
in Golden
lessons,
Gate
yeah.
Park. Kinesthetic is Mass Off Center. Scavenger hunts in MoMA. I think that we're sitting pretty right now.
Yeah, I think we're leading the team right now.
Let me delete this first thing. Okay, yeah, I think we're good. We're good to close the meeting.
All right.
Okay,
Well, good
Thank
job.
you.
thank you.
Stay
gentlemen.
on. Stay on the email. I'll let you guys know anything if anything.
Okay,
Okay.
and I will,
Okay.
it takes about 15 minutes to render out
Yeah.
of Zoom.
Okay.
And so